On the line now, we have Sandra Grazzini-Rucki.
Yes. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
Doing good.
Good, good. I just want to tell our listeners how we met and that last year, I guess last December 25th, after your tragic custody case where 5 of your children in one day in a family court setting you were ordered to move out of your home by noon that day and leave your 5 children there, and a third party was going to move in and take care of them, and there was an order for absolutely no contact, and that was last September, correct?
September 7th of 2012, correct.
Yeah. And then in December, on Christmas, December 25th, you were praying for a miracle. You can maybe explain what your mindset was at the Vatican, because as you know, my prayer was for an intercession for by Pope John Paul II for a miracle in family court. And around the same time as my calling to abolish court for families in 1 year, you were praying at the Vatican for the same thing for your family.
Basically, yes. It was Christmas, and after everything had been happening in family court, I was praying for pretty much a miracle of some sort of help. And unfortunately, I don't have my kids right now, but I did meet you, Michelle, and we've been fighting ever since. So in a sense, I did get some help from him.
Right, right, and it is a battle. It's just a tragic example of you were already divorced. First of all, the divorce was done. You had custody of your kids, and then in one day, a judge can order you to leave your home of 17 years and leave your 5 children. What are their names?
Nico, Sammy, Gianna, Nia, and Gino. And
all 5 of them, you were court-ordered to leave by noon that day. So that must have been just, I can't even imagine it, that happening. And I'm sure the listeners here don't even believe that it's happened. It's such a tragic story. You did nothing wrong. It wasn't child protection. You had never laid a hand on your children. You were living in the same home for, 17 years?
Yes, 17 years. I had 100% legal and physical custody due to the fact of my ex from domestic abuse. I had custody on May 12th, 2011, and like you said, on September 7th, I received a phone call that morning when I was getting my kids ready for school, and my attorney told me I had 2 hours to leave the home, and I was allowed to take the suitcase and to leave my children behind.
Well, that can be no good for the kids in any circumstance, Wow.
They didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I kept saying, what happened? Did something happen? Nope, you didn't do anything. Judge just ordered it.
Yeah. And then there was also, I understand they were in the same church for 17 years, had all the sacraments. They were in the same school system for 17 years, the same doctor for 17 years. So you did all the right things, but somehow through, tragically, and I believe it was an attorney that served papers, correct? Served some kind of papers to the judge, alleging alienation or parental alienation.
Yes, they were correct. That was the only allegation that was made. They never even made an allegation of any type of neglect or abuse or anything like that because there was none. It was that my children who had been abused by their father and had witnessed abuse by me because they did not and had been not associating with them, even though they were teenagers, then my ex claimed that it was alienation, that they only didn't like him was because of me. And his attorney is the one that asked for the immediate removal of me within 2 hours.
Yeah. So the attorney served papers, and it was...
The attorney served papers, from what I know, to the judge, and there was I was never given a hearing. Like I said, no allegations, no child protection, nothing.
Yeah, and and also the children were not even, the other parent didn't even have contact because there were allegations of abuse of the other parent. So it's very hard to believe. And I'm asking you the same questions to our listeners, the benefit of the listeners so that they know. But what your case, why I took it on, and I think we met at a family innocence nonprofit social that we have each first of the month. That's been my mantra since I had my calling to abolish family court as Pope John Paul II's miracle, if you will. He's actually, this, Sandra, and that he's actually being canonized this December, and you're going to go out there, right? And I'm going out there because we truly believe that this is going to be a miracle, and I believe that the Family Innocence Nonprofit Project in 1 year created the model that is the miracle that eliminates court for families. We just still have court and tragic things that happen to people like you, just tragic, and it's because of the litigation mode. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. That is, if we got it out of the courts, we wouldn't have been in the circumstances, and my children wouldn't be without their mother today.
So why don't you tell the listeners how many court orders, individual court orders? Now, you got your divorce decree, and I was saying earlier, the divorce decree is just one court order. It says the marriage is hereby terminated. It's one court order in a litany of things that happen. How many orders has the court individually, particularized orders signed in your case?
Judge, am I allowed to say the name?
Yes.
David Knutson issued over 3,000 orders personally against me.
Can you even keep
so many, I can't even, they're all over the spectrum.
And we were trying to talk earlier about how the courts are, the Supreme Court jurisprudence is that your children are like the air you breathe, fundamental constitutional rights, and that the courts are not to enter the realm of family unless there's a compelling state interest, like some kind of abuse, neglect, and actually one of the compelling state interests might be particularly what happened to you if you're deprived of your children. So you actually have been deprived of your children by color of law.
Well, Sandra, we need to kind of give Michelle a chance to talk about how folks can make some contact and find out a little bit more about some of the events that can help the Family Innocence Project, the Family Innocence Nonprofit Project. And boy, we just want to keep your situation in prayer. We thank you for being so willing to share that. And boy, want to get that overturned for you, and also appreciate your time and a very busy schedule to be with us a bit today, too.
And thank you again for having me and for your prayers.
All right. Thank you very much, Sandra, with us today. And Michelle, just in the last couple minutes, we want to definitely give you an opportunity to talk about a couple of the things coming up to raise awareness and some funding as well for the Family Innocence Nonprofit Project.
Yes, we have a free social every first of the month, and it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and you can find it on our website, www.familyinnocence.com. Even if you, I hear that even if you type in Abolish Family Court, you get the Family Innocence Nonprofit Project. Our blog has had hits from every country in the world, which I'm really thrilled about because I think this miracle is going to happen. Also, I'll give you my cell phone number, 612-554-0932, 612-554-0932. We do have a physical office headquarters in St. Paul. And we also have a telephone, and it's all volunteer at this point, and we are anything that anybody out there can do to help eliminate court for families. We truly appreciate. God bless you, Glenn, and all of your listeners.
And you've had a lot of important people in the world of family court, other attorneys and judges, too, that feel the same way and are part of this effort to eliminate the bad things that are happening.
Yeah, absolutely. In May of this year, we had what we called the think tank Divorce Without Court project that I was able to help facilitate. I think we had over 50 judges, lawyers, legislators, consumers, which is the most important, psychologists, mediators, restorative circle facilitators at this meeting. And what's come out of that is a Divorce Without Courts project where we meet on a regular basis to get this thing done.
And are you seeing more and more people kind of, once they learn about this, that are involved in family court are like, wow, there is a better way to do things for the sake of the children, and they're getting on board?
They're getting on board, yes, they're getting on board. But because litigation is still available, family innocence, first of all, the beauty of it is it's a consent process. We don't summons you or compel you to use our process. It's a consent process. You can opt in. You can decide to opt out even. That's the beauty of it. But we still have summonses that are served by parents or by husbands or by wives for a myriad of things, harassment, for instance, those kinds of things. And that's where it's a parallel process. We need to have that process eliminated because we do not need to litigate economic issues with parents who are supporting their children, for instance. There's no compelling state interest if your children are being supported, or psychological issues or even social issues anymore.
Well, it's good to know that there is a hope for a better way, hope for cooperation, and at least in situations where the parents can, get along well enough to get involved in this process, there is hope that maybe the whole process can be turned around. It's the Family Innocence Nonprofit Project. And Attorney Michelle MacDonald, thanks so much for your time today and for enlightening our audience on a better way of doing things.
You're welcome, Glenn, and your listeners can call me anytime.
All right, that number once again?
612-554-0932, and that's my cell phone.
All right.
That's how much I want to get this job done.
Very good. Thanks, Michelle. That'll wrap it up tonight for Conversation here on K-YES.